It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. As one of the earliest product managers at Facebook, Leah Pearlman led the creation of the iconic like button. She had a successful career, friends, and a loving family. But inside, she was constantly racked with insecurities she couldn't express. She immersed herself in her work so she didn't have time to feel. When her father's cancer returned, her first thought was, "Not now, I'm too busy." With that, she knew she needed to change. Leah left Facebook and began to learn about herself, a discovery that led her down a new path. She's a creator of Dharma Comics and the author of the book, Drawn Together, Uplifting Comics on the Curious Journey Through Life and Love. Welcome, Leah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Leah, you were one of the earliest product managers at Facebook, and that led to the creation of the like button. Where did that idea come from, and did anyone understand the potential of what you were developing?
To answer your second question first, I think we couldn't have possibly known what the like button would turn into. It just came out of a simple idea. Back then, photos, statuses, notes, that kind of thing, all that you could do to give feedback was to leave a comment. And what that meant was there tended to be a lot of really similar comments. Good job, great job, I like it, this is great. And then there'd be a really thoughtful, long, or creative comment. I remember thinking it would just be nice if we could just group together all the similar comments in one place so that it would leave the comment space open for the longer, more thoughtful ones so that, they wouldn't get missed. And so if I didn't have something creative to say in the comments, I might not say anything at all. And just having a simple button would allow me to not have to be creative, but still give the person my feedback. So it was kind of one idea that would solve many different issues.
And I led off with that question because it really is a great example of just how much on fire your career was at that point. You were living a really good life. I mean, at least on the outside. What was it that you were experiencing on the inside?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't exactly sure, but what I guess I was experiencing was I was feeling a lot of insecurity. I'd always kind of strive to be the best. I wanted to go to the best school. I wanted to have all the best grades. By the time I got to Facebook, I was surrounded by some of the most brilliant people that I'd ever met. People were funny and fun and passionate and worked hard. And though I had always been successful in my own path, I felt like I kept putting myself in, bigger and bigger ponds, and to try and keep up with people around me, I was very hard on myself. In my head, I was never performing enough, never doing enough, never working as hard or as much or as creatively as I wanted to. I really had very little perspective about how well I was doing.
And what you just described, Lee, I think it's what so many of us experience on a daily basis. We're always striving for that next achievement, and we're often envious of what we believe other people have. We're jealous of what they have, and we think that it's so much better on the other side. But often the people that we're jealous of, they're just very good at masking what they're really feeling. And then many of us become workaholics or addicted to something because we don't want to have the time to think. And I know that's what happened to you. You, in addition to going on this life journey, you also battled bulimia. But you say that battle transformed you. Why do you say that?
I say that because I developed bulimia when I was in middle school and always kind of thought it would be a phase, or I would grow out of it soon, was kind of my mantra for over 14 years. And the reason I say it transformed me was because ultimately I was in so much distress by the time I decided to leave my job. Basically the addiction cycle of, for me, it was binging and purging, and there was always free food at the office. It was always tempting and always eating, and always purging and always scared of gaining weight, and always, because I was feeling so just on the edge of fitting in, it always felt kind of life or death almost to my ego that I keep making myself as perfect as I could. Because of all of that stress, eventually I needed to leave because I couldn't handle it anymore. And my life is in a completely different place than it was then. And I just don't know. I don't know if I would have ever left, or how I would have ever shifted to what I'm doing now if I wasn't in enough suffering to make a change.
Many people hate their jobs and the path of their lives, but they're afraid to make a change. And, a lot of those fears are very real, because if it's hard to quit a job, if you have a mortgage or a family to support, we have very real responsibilities. But what you just described, sometimes the change is necessary. What gave you the courage? Was it totally because of the pain? Where did you finally say, that's it, I'm out of here, I need to change something? And what advice do you offer to someone who's in that place where you were?
Yeah. Well, first, I just want to validate, people who feel, really financially stuck to where they are, because that wasn't my situation. And so I think that does add a complexity, but I don't think it's impossible. So what was most important for me, and this would be the advice that I would offer, is sometimes we think that the pain that we're experiencing is worth it, or it's somehow better than the fear we have of what would happen if we made a change. And my experience is, if we slow down, taking the time to really look, how much am I suffering? And the more I saw the cost of what I was doing, the balance sheet, of to stay or to go started shifting. So when I was in denial, I could stay for a long time in a lot of pain. But when I was really paying attention to how it was affecting my friendships, my relationships, my family, whether I was really enjoying what I was doing or I was just enjoying the external validation of what I was doing, when I really slowed down to pay attention to what was actually happening, the feeling of pain increased because I was more aware of what I was suffering.
How did everything that you experienced lead to the creation of Dharma Comics?
In some ways, I've always been a blogger, and, I would share a lot about my internal world, but much like I think many people with the advent of social media, and I would say just in general, we tend to like to show our best side. So I would write about the good stuff, but I wouldn't write about the suffering. I would show what was going well, but not what wasn't working publicly. And I started drawing comics through a number of crazy circumstances. It was just a little bit of a joke at first. Like, I doodled this little comic strip about my dad's cancer going into remission, and I posted it on Facebook, and sort of unconsciously realized almost immediately that with comics, this was still a light way, like a easy way for people to digest maybe more serious information. So I started drawing different things I was feeling, thinking about, experiencing. And it was so nice because I didn't have to share the content. I could share about feeling loss without saying I got dumped. And then it helped me feel, more connected to people. Like, they could see I'm hurting right now, but I didn't have to overexpose what was happening for me. So as I started drawing, I started finding this gentle way to show my heart without having to kind of reveal everything and go into any kind of dialogue that I didn't want to go into about it.
And what's so great about what you've done, Leah, is you weren't an artist. This was something that you had to learn from scratch, and it's something that you probably didn't see yourself doing. So it really just shows us that you never know where that great inspiration is going to come from, or where your life path is going to lead you.
It's so true. It also, one of the things I love about it is our minds can tell us what we think is like a disadvantage may actually be an advantage. Some people ask me, because I draw comics kind of about spirituality or Zen or kind of different themes around stillness and emptiness, and that my comics are so white space. There's a lot of spaciousness that sort of reflects the meaning also. And, of course, they're only that simple because that was all I was capable of drawing. And still to this day, it's pretty much all I can draw is stick figures. But my beginner's mind created something that actually, yesterday I watched a 3-year-old spend 20 minutes with the book, and she's not even really reading the concepts, but she just seemed to enjoy the experience. And I think in some ways the childlike nature of my art skill, which is just because I was a novice, is what makes it endearing. And so it's just helped me question, what thoughts keep me from doing something, dancing, singing, what stories I have about needing to be a certain level before I actually start.
The book is Drawn Together, Uplifting Comics on the Curious Journey Through Life and Love. If you would like to get more information about Leah and her work, you can visit dharmacomics.com. Leah, in our final moments, what's the takeaway? What do you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the number one thing I've learned through my entire journey up to this point is that when I have hard or even overly good emotions, sometimes the tendency can be to avoid, to skip over, to mask. And each one of my comics is a moment of me just turning toward whatever I'm feeling or thinking and making space for it and listening and appreciating it as it is. And so I just really invite everyone, no matter what you're going through, what's happening, that it's a perfectly valid human experience and worth paying attention to.
Leah, thank you so much for being here with us today. I know the next time that I'm giving into my Facebook addiction and I go to click on the like button, I now know who to blame. But seriously, you have a really important message, and I'm so happy that you're here to share it with us. And I wish you much continued success with Dharma Comics.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We'll be right back. Hi, this is Joan Herman, host of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Did you know that Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life has a free monthly digital magazine that can be read online or emailed to your inbox? Every month, nationally recognized leaders in their field provide information to educate, inspire, and motivate you. We believe in a holistic approach to life, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. Check out a copy of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life 24/7. Visit cyacyl.com and be sure to tell your friends. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, cyacyl.com. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read our digital magazine, take part in the book club, check out our team, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.